Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading for Taurus for the month of October 2025. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Taurus, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, we start with the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is a card of overanalysis, right? It's a card of overthinking. I feel like maybe you're experiencing some classic overthinking, right? It could be feeling, you could be in the middle of like a decision right now that there's just so many options. Things are so complex right now. We're kind of feeling trapped in this sort of mental space where, you know, there's too much going on and we can't find a way forward. Okay? So this might be a month, right? October might be the month for you to cut through the noise. Okay? To free yourself of all of that sort of mental clutter. Yeah. I think that October should be a month of simplifying. I feel like that's kind of a big theme that's going to be for everybody's readings, is just doing less, slowing down. Okay? Your thoughts don't need to be racing. You don't need to be planning everything. We don't need to overthink everything, you know. Even simplest decisions, you know, like, well, what should I have for breakfast? You know, sometimes I get caught up in these, well, what book should I read tonight kind of thing. And it ends up going on for hours with this kind of internal debate. Yeah. And I think that kind of, it leaves us feeling tied up in knots. I feel like we're bound up in just a tangle of like Christmas lights, you know. And I feel like this is a month to kind of cut through some of that. Yeah. For, you know, trying to slow our thoughts down. So I feel like we're probably going to see a lot of cards of like slowing down, pulling our energy back in, boundaries, maybe cards of like meditation and stillness, cards of clarity. Okay, so let's see what we get. Let's put the rest of our cards out here. Well, there's a card of tranquility, so I like that, right? Six of Cups. We have a Five of Wands. We have a Two of Pentacles. We have the Lover's card. We have a Four of Cups, yes. A Two of Cups. We have the Temperance card, a Six of Pentacles, and we have a Knight of Cups. Very good energies, wow. Yeah, you got a lot of good stuff, but there is this kind of overthinking energy that's kind of dominating your current situation. And it may really be that right now, you know, there's Jupiter in Gemini, right? This feels like there's a lot to think about. Maybe there's a lot that you're planning for. Maybe the Six of Cups is an event or something like this. Some of you are planning maybe something with family or like holidays or something like that. And it could be that there's just a lot on your mind, that there's too much to do. And with this card, we kind of feel like maybe overwhelmed. Maybe this is, you know, this is that there are too many things on my to-do list, not enough time to do them. Yeah. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set this down right here with our little sea turtle friend right on top. Now, we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction in the comment section. All right, right below the video. Yeah. Okay, now, as we look around the room, we do see two major arcana energies. Yeah. We see the Lover's choice, and we see the art card of the Temperance card, which to me kind of feels like blending things together. Yeah. So some of you might be trying to solve this problem about how are two things supposed to go together. How are you and another person? How is this family and this family? How is, like, you know, this side of the room and that side of the room? How are we supposed to bring everything together into one event or one unit or one harmonious kind of night or day or, you know, situation? For some of you, this could be family. It could be that you're trying to blend families together, or there's some kind of there's something about the family for some of you that doesn't want to go together. Does that make sense? Anyway, we've got fire. We've got water, water, water. We've got the air right there in the middle. Yeah, we know that. And then we have our earth and our earth. Okay. So it's, you know, the air energy is kind of important, right? Because that's kind of like, you know, that's what's kind of going on with you. That's what's going on with you this month. Okay. But I feel like it's very heavy on the water energy. And really how to bring things together, how to merge something, how to mix something together in a way that works. Okay. For some of you, this is creativity. This is like, how do you take two things that don't go together and make them go together? You know, like that's art, right? And maybe that's the greatest art, is the ability to blend two things together that most people would have said, huh, I never would have thought to put that together. You know, you think of like a great chef or something that's able to like blend two flavors together in a way that's new, in a way that's kind of novel. Yeah. So the Eight of Swords, yeah, I think that October is going to be a very busy month, at least in terms of your planning, and you're paying attention to the details. So it feels like a lot of you are involved in something that has a lot of moving parts, and you have to pay attention to each of those moving parts. Okay, and this may be, for a lot of you, it may be that we're kind of getting too worried about things, and we're making things a little bit more complicated than they need to be. So this is a card that's saying, if we can simplify, simplify. If we can push things off of our to-do list, let's do that. Because when we get too wrapped up in the details, we kind of miss the bigger picture. And we fail to see things that we should be paying attention to because we're so like hyper-focused on other things that we sort of miss what we should be experiencing, okay? So let's be aware of this energy. As we move into October, let's try not to overthink too much. Now, some analysis is good, but too much is a bad thing. Yeah. Your next card is the Six of Cups. This is a really wonderful card, pleasure, right? Simple happiness. It's going to be a very good month for kindness, a very good month for making things simple, you know, simple happiness, simple pleasures, bonding with people, making the relationships that you have in your life just easier, enjoying the sweetness of life. And so it's really the opposite of this, huh? Because this is like complicated. This is like, I can't figure out what to do. This is just like, I don't know what's going on, you know? This is just like, I just want to hang out. It doesn't have to be complicated. If we want to be together, let's just be together. Let's just do whatever we want. We don't have to plan everything. We don't have to have, like, maybe this is, you know, scheduling everything. You know, if it's 6 o'clock, wake up, 6:01, take a yawn, 6:02, you know, put my feet on the floor, 6:03, walk to the bathroom. It doesn't have to be that structured, that detailed, or that much of an itinerary. Maybe this is just kind of do what's in your heart, you know. Let this month be kind of free and easy and simple. Enjoy the simple things. Enjoy the little things of life. And don't miss them because we're so busy planning for the next thing. We're so wrapped up in our heads and our thoughts and our analysis that we don't appreciate the simple things of life. To me, this is a card of family. You'll have to excuse my voice today. I'm still getting over the flu, and I feel like my voice is kind of, you know, is leaving me. But anyway, I'll find it again. The Six of Cups to me is a card of family and community. And so I think that it's, don't isolate yourself by being in your head. Okay, for October, appreciate the people around you. Hang out with your friends and family, you know, enjoy your pets, your plants, and your people. And if you are planning some kind of an event, not everything has to be perfect. You don't have to think through, I mean, you're someone like right now with this Eight of Swords, like October, you're thinking of everything. every detail, like you've planned for every little detail. And maybe that's the way you roll, and that's good, okay? But don't let it take away from your experience of the event, or of the relationship, or of the date, or of the the month itself. Or if this has to do with holidays, or whatever. If you are looking for romance, it would be a very good time for that, as long as you get out of your head about it. Does that make sense? So don't feel like you have to plan everything you're going to say. You don't need a script, As long as you're just sort of feeling it, just feel it, and just let the words sort of come to you. Yeah. To me, this is a card of enjoying the company of others. This is us being able to exist in the presence of our loved ones without really needing to have like a topic. This is like you and I can just go sit on a park bench together and just feel good. We don't have to have a plan. We don't have to have an objective. And so these cards together are telling me that in October, don't feel like you have to have an excuse to go see somebody. Just go hang out. There doesn't always have to be a reason for it. It's not always, hey, what do you want to do? It's like, I don't know, nothing. I just want to hang out. And then the Eight of Swords saying, yeah, but what do you want to do? I just want to hang out. Yeah, but what are we going to do? And so it goes back and forth, right? The heart and the mind are just like incompatible right now with these two. And we can see that because the mind is just so, just keeps looping back in on itself. And maybe it's rumination. Okay? Maybe it's a little bit of self-consciousness or anxiety where the heart's just saying, hey, I just want to be, I just want to feel. I just want to enjoy the sweetness of life and enjoy those little things. And I want to take my pleasure in life a little bit. And then, of course, the Eight of Swords is trying to find some sort of justification for that, or some sort of, trying to fit it into the schedule, or like it's overthinking everything. Overthinking everything. Yeah. So this is a month, October, for you, Taurus, is going to be simplicity. Choosing the easier road. Choosing the path that's the least complicated. Okay? Choosing the thing that's going to feel good, and then not overthinking it. Not letting your mind come in and ruin it for you. Okay? And so I really, really love the Six of Cups. Because this is just simply enjoying the people that you're with. And enjoying the things that you're doing. Yeah? It doesn't have to be a big production. What it needs to be is fun. What it needs to be is pleasurable. If it feels good, do it. And the mind can just, figure it out, I guess. Okay? But under the surface, okay, this is what your heart kind of wants here. And this is a Five of Wands. This is competition. This is testing yourself. This is maybe kind of feeling like the month might be clashing, right? And it could be now that there is a wrestling between the heart and the mind, a rivalry, I kind of feel that if you're kind of feeling that I feel like October, there's something giving you some kind of anxiety about October. That there's something going on that just makes you feel like, okay, this might be rough. Like I feel like you're preparing yourself for something that's going to have friction. It's like you're expecting some friction here. And I think that if you do experience any kind of competition or any kind of friction or disagreement or discord or any kind of strife at all in October, the way forward is going to be through compassion and love and ease. Take the easier road, not the more complicated road. Simple solutions, kindness, not overthinking, not strategy, not all that. Just kindness and compassion, taking the easy way is going to be the name of the game. Okay? I think if you're going into the month expecting there to be some hiccups or some obstacles or some roadblocks, that's going to be very good energy for you, because then you're going to be able to handle it and not take it personally. Okay? Whatever challenges you might face aren't going to disturb the harmony of the Six of Cups there. okay? Because you're already expecting it to be a little bumpy. So whatever you've got going on in October, or just as a general approach to the month, know that there might be some ups and downs. Okay, Taurus, there might be some speed bumps or obstacles that you have to face. Maybe not everybody is going to agree with you, especially if we have this kind of union energy, which is like you trying to squeeze two things together that might not really want to go together. Well, that's going to be a little bit of friction, okay? That's going to be a little bit of, there's going to be some resistance there. It's going to be a little bit of a battle, okay? And I think for a lot of you, I kind of feel like right now what you're sort of looking for in life is some way to prove yourself, or some way to like, I feel like the Five of Wands is like the five-fingered hand, you know, reaching out into life and doing something and saying, I did it. So I kind of feel like you're looking for a win, you know? I feel like there is a little bit of this competition energy, or testing yourself. Yeah. And I think if you are pushing yourself like kind of beyond your comfort zone a little bit, okay? I think that if you don't overthink it, you're going to experience a great joy and bliss and pleasure. It's going to be a win, okay? Going from a 5 to a 6, yeah, that's pretty nice. So if you are testing yourself, or you're pushing yourself, or you're going outside your comfort zone this month, Taurus, it's going to work out very, very, very good for you, as long as you don't overthink it. As long as you kind of stay out of your head and just try to let that energy flow. Okay? So this would be a good month for challenging yourself just a little bit, nothing crazy, but pushing yourself a little bit. Maybe it's kind of like, you know, call up that person that you've been wanting to talk to, or like, you know, put yourself out there on the dating website or something, or like, you know, express yourself in that way. Go and do something that maybe you've always wanted to do, but it always felt like it was a little bit challenging. Challenge yourself this month. Yeah. Don't overthink it, because the Eight of Swords will prevent you from doing this thing, from trying this thing. Maybe this is, you know, you're trying to push yourself a little bit towards a breakthrough in your art, or your creativity, or your relationships, or your dating life, you know, your love life, or in your career, or in your finances, or in your physical fitness, or whatever your goals are. It's not really a month for playing it safe. It's a month for pushing yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone and not overthinking it, because that Eight of Swords will prevent you from doing the thing. Okay? Because in that context, the Eight of Swords will always talk us out of doing the hard thing. I think doing the hard thing, that you want to do it, because I think you know that it's going to make your heart happy. Okay. So I think you're being told to do it and not get stuck in your head about it. Now, the Two of Pentacles, this is last month's energy. This is something that may be unfinished. This is something that may be still lingering in your present energy. But it's something that happened last month, or, you know, previous to that. And it's a card of change. So it could be that you've been in the middle of taking a very kind of bold step in your life. But maybe we got stuck in our mind about it a little bit. This is change. Okay, this is a new routine. This is maybe shifting priorities. Okay? And I'm feeling like something got started last month, or maybe even the month before, that I think you're now like, you're trying to keep it going, but you started to overthink it, and you started to kind of overplan, or like you're starting to ruminate on too many of those details, rather than just continuing to push forward and go get into the next step of things. And this could be a new lifestyle kind of change. It could be, like I said, a shift of priorities. It could be a new routine. It could be a new job, something like this. But you took a positive step. And now I think we gotta build the momentum up again, because it kind of feels like we got a little bit of that analysis paralysis going on. Okay? And so we need to get this thing like moving forward again. Okay? So it feels like you're in the middle of a change. And we're trying not to let it stall. I feel like this is a change. It could be that you really made a big pivot in your life. Maybe this was a big career change. Maybe this was you started to get involved in a new, challenging project, or a business, or an enterprise, or some kind of maybe a fitness routine or something like this. You know, we started it, kind of planted the seeds for it. That we took the first step. Okay. And now we need to continue that motion. All right. The next card you have is what's on your mind. The Lovers. The Lovers is on your mind, right? For some of you, romance, yes, most definitely, this is what you want. Right? You realize in your heart that, you know, there's a challenge. Your heart, your inside, right, feels this push, feels this kind of challenge energy that it's building up pressure inside of you. And what's on your conscious mind? Yeah, it's choice, it's relationship. Okay? This is, for October, this is your chance now to really choose with love and devotion, a 1000% heck yes. Choose something. And maybe this is something that you started doing already. And now that we're now with the Eight of Swords, we're kind of overthinking it. We're just saying, I don't know. This card might be asking you, Taurus, to make a final choice, to either say yes to this change, whatever that was, and maybe this is a business partnership, maybe this is a romance. Okay, I feel like it was kind of a major move in your life. This is what you're focused on right now. This is what you're aiming toward, a union, bringing two things together that, you know, maybe you're kind of overthinking. Now you're ruminating on this, thinking, do they belong together? You know, whether it's a business thing, for some of you, it's going to be romance. Can't escape that, okay? There are too many cards here for me to say it's not a love reading, but, you know, every reading is a love reading. I should point that out, because every reading is about love. Every reading is about relationships. But a relationship to what or to whom, right, is kind of for you to figure out. There is love here. Two of Cups. There is pleasure here. There is luxury and success here. There is change and friction. There is a choice. October might be the month where you have to make this choice, if this is for you, or if you're saying, I'm not ready. If there's any doubt, then it's a no for now. Okay? And so it kind of is asking, like, if you're ready. You know, are you done ruminating on you're done thinking about, like, maybe somebody asks you a question and we've just been ruminating. We've been in our head and the hamster wheel's been going around and around and around and around. The gears are turning in here, you know, and it's just kind of like, it's time now to spit out an answer. Okay. This doesn't have to be romance, but it is a choice. It's a choice of you kind of committing yourself to something, promising yourself to something. And I think what you really want is union. You want to say heck yes 1000% to something, but I think you're ruminating on, is this the right thing to say yes to? It's not a question of, you know, if you want this union or not, whether it's with a person or a job or a new house or whatever, right? The routine or the new life or whatever whatever the option is. It's not about whether you want it. It's about whether that's the right thing for you to say yes to. Does that make sense? And so I think October is going to see that, you know, it's kind of a time for you to make that decision. Yeah. Now, moving forward, this is the energy going into next month or the near future. It's luxury. So you have pleasure and luxury and success and love. But first you have change and you have friction. And maybe it's saying that, look, at the beginning of something, at the beginning of any kind of significant change in life, there's going to be friction. You're going to be taken outside of your comfort zone. But that fact doesn't mean that this is wrong. I think the outcomes that we see, holy moly, look at, I mean, we even have a Knight of Cups here at the end. Like, that's extraordinary. But going into the following month, this is comfort. This is reflection, okay? This is luxury, okay? This is, you know, I think that this is a solid foundation, okay? I feel like going into, well, towards the end of the month, I would say, I think there's going to be a kind of contentedness, okay? Because I think that this is really going to be, this is going to be a time where you're able to reflect on the earlier part of the month and the choice that you made. So I think that this card, it's not saying whether you're saying yes or not, or what you're saying yes to, but what it's saying is that you're kind of pausing at the end of the month to make sure that you didn't miss the gift that was being offered to you. Because I feel that's what the Six of Cups is. This is a real gift. This is a really harmony. This is a happy family. This is you finding your tribe. This is real pleasure. You know? And the Four of Cups is then after the fact, looking back on this situation and saying, did I make the right choice? Or did I miss the boat? Did I choose love, compassion, happiness, pleasure? Or was I too stuck in my head to recognize the gift as it floated by? Okay. So I feel that, you know, this is really the month for action and choice. Okay, and then the following month, or towards the end of October, like I said, then will be the time for you to kind of, you know, to contemplate your choice, to reflect upon your choice. Yeah. So it may be a lot of activity, a lot of challenging yourself, going outside of your comfort zone now, but later is going to be a time for getting back into your comfort zone, feeling comfortable again. You know what I mean? So to me, this feels like you're out there sailing, even though your mind is like, I don't know, I'm not sure, I keep ruminating. I feel like you might be making that choice to take pleasure in sailing. Okay, and this is you then returning to the dock and thinking, okay, well, I'm really happy I did that. You know, I feel like this is you towards the end of the month and again into November and stuff, Taurus, in the, you know, the near future, thinking, I'm really glad that I stepped out of my comfort zone because I got to experience something amazing. And I can't believe that I was thinking about not doing it. You know, I feel like this is going to be you very, very happy and feeling, you know, it's kind of like, you know, you're about to go on a roller coaster and you really want to do it and you know you should push yourself, you know you should do it, you know it's going to be fun, but you're nervous. Well, then you finally do it and it's just a wild ride. And then you get back down to the ground, you get off the ride, you sit down on the bench and you think, wow, I'm happy I did that. That scared me, but I feel I'm safe now. I'm on the ground. You know, nothing bad happened. And I'm very glad that I did that. So we go out of our comfort zone and then we get back into it, or we realize that what we're pushing into is becoming our new comfort zone. So getting comfortable in the new place, getting comfortable in the new relationship, starting to feel at home, starting to feel safe and stable and emotionally sound in the new job or whatever it is. Okay. And I think that it's, I think that we see a really good progression of energy here. I think it's beautiful. Now, on the path of the serpent, you have the Two of Cups too, right? There's love. This is harmony, union. This is reciprocity. If you're looking for love, Taurus, October is going to be it. Okay? This is you sort of leaning into it. This is a relationship that brings balance into your life. Probably romantic. Okay? You'll have to excuse me if the audio drops out. It's because I'm hitting the cough button, because I'm still quite ill. But this is, this is a relationship. This is an urge to merge. This is saying that you want this. Okay? This is a deep connection, a partnership, a romance. But even if it's not your love life, even if this is maybe a career change or new hobbies, new activities, maybe you're finally going to start taking jujitsu classes or something, right? This is really the feeling like this brought something that was missing into your life, And I think that in your heart right now, you feel friction. You feel like this is like your heart's beating faster. Thump, 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 thump. We're getting nervous. We're getting excited about something, And it feels like nerves. This feels like I can't imagine my life without it now. It's brought something into your life that maybe you didn't realize was missing. Yeah. So we have love, we have union, and we have reciprocity. And as your general energy, I feel that you're giving to this person or situation, and you're receiving. Giving and receiving, two-way street of love and affection. Beautiful. So Taurus, if you're looking for love, you got it. Okay, it's a really good month for that. This is love for something. Whether it's the job, a career, the art form, a friend, a pet, a plant, whatever it is, there's love. Yeah. This is a big, big love October for you, Taurus. Now, in your relationships, you've got the Temperance card. Okay? And I feel like the Temperance card it's a lot of things, And I think that this is you now putting yourself into a particular environment or a set of circumstances where you're going to be transformed. Okay? The Temperance card is like the blacksmith's anvil. And it's kind of like saying that, that by doing this, you're changing your shape. You're growing. You're transforming a little bit through this situation. And that's sometimes scary. But it's something that you began or you initiated, I think last month, right, with that Two of Pentacles. And it's something that now is really beginning to be realized. It's just how much you're changing, how much you're growing. Yeah. I think this card is also realizing that whatever this new relationship is going to spark further transformation in you. I think that you realize that in any partnership, both people, both parties are changing. Okay, I feel like this is you kind of blending your energy with somebody. So it requires temperance. It requires compromise. Okay, that you have to be willing to yield some of your energy, and they'll be willing to yield some of theirs. This is a month for patience in your relationships, all of them. It's time for patience and moderation and learning how to integrate your energies with the other people in your life. Not just this one that you're choosing, but everybody. Okay, as a general kind of card here for your relationships. How are you finding harmony in those relationships? How are you balancing and blending your energies? And how are you being influenced and changed by your relationships? And how is your presence in those relationships helping to transform the other people? In other words, are you being a good influence on people? And are the people in your life a good influence on you? Yeah. And I think that's an important message here too. I think also for October, this is a month for appreciating your differences with people. If people at work, at home, at school, whatever, family members, kind of learning to appreciate that people don't believe the same things you believe. People don't want the same things you want. People are different. It's kind of like, finding the complementary. That doesn't have to be a contradictory energy. How about if you guys complement each other? That they hold opinions that you don't have, and together you have the whole thing. Or you have skills and interests that other people don't. Well, that's good then. You want to bring those people into your life, because then you'll have more variety. I think variety is very good, and learning to appreciate the things that make us different. What's your special contribution? How are you changing the world, and how are you inviting, special, unique energies into your life? Yeah, through the people that you meet, that you encounter, through the people that you engage with. So I think a very, very good card here. Yeah, a very positive card. Overall, you have a very positive reading. The only thing that I'm concerned about, of course, is our Eight of Swords, which is we're overthinking everything to the point where we might not be taking action on any of these things. So we must take action this week. We have to decide. We have to say yes to something. And maybe that Lover's card is saying it's not about just saying yes to one thing. Maybe it's about saying yes to life, saying yes to our true selves. Okay. Now, in the position of the fears, or even the hopes, right? This could be hopes and fears. We have a Six of Pentacles: success, stability, prosperity. Okay. I think that part of your fear is that you're going to commit to something and it's not going to commit to you. I think the fear is sometimes that we're going to fight for something and we're going to fail at it. I think the fear is that, we're going to give something our very best and we're not going to get anything out of it. Okay? What you're hoping for is success. What you're hoping for is prosperity. I think that this is a good month to stay goal-oriented, but to also realize that we bring something very valuable to the table, and so does everybody else. And, this is how we all sort of bring home our contributions. To me, this is always like a potluck. Everybody's bringing a dish. It's not one person that has to cook all the food. Everybody's bringing something, and your gumbo is just as good as your fruit salad, and it's all wonderful. It's all great. Yeah. So I feel like it really is a time for gatherings, a time for communities, a time for potlucks, a time for parties, a time for collaboration, a time for meetings, and a time for valuing everybody who's around. And it kind of with our Temperance card too, right? Appreciating the differences, appreciating what other people think, feel, and believe, and do, and contribute, and create, because it's so different from what I do, that I love experiencing that, And so I think that this is now partly that fear. I think that part of that rumination, it might be your feeling that you don't have anything to contribute. But you do, Taurus. And I think the cards right now are trying to urge you to take a chance on yourself. You do have something. You are bringing something valuable to the table. It's like you're going to the potluck, but you're saying, I'll bring a bottle of water or like a bag of chips or something like that. No, it's like you can make something. You can bring something valuable, something creative, something from yourself. Okay? And even if this is about romantic relationships for you, it may be the feeling like you want it to be equal, but maybe you're feeling like, what if I'm not really bringing much to the table, but the other person really is? Then it's going to be off balance. No. I think there's such balance in your reading today, because we have balance with the Lovers, balance with the Temperance card. The 6 is balance, 4 is balance, 2 is balance. 2 over here is balance. Okay? I think this is a month really for you to believe that what you have is valuable, and being willing to put it out there and connect with other people and sort of be proud and be assertive and be independent, and being willing to say, I deserve this union because I'm bringing something very valuable to the table. Your heart, your essence, your spirit, your creativity, your heart and your mind you're bringing to the table. And in terms of work and career and finances and stuff, you're bringing something very valuable to that table too. So those of you that are kind of ruminating over career stuff, speak up, assert yourself. Know that you have value. Believe that you have value, and act from that position. So, assert yourself. Reach out into the world and make things happen. Believing that you can. Yeah. Believing that you deserve the good things too, So the last card then is our Knight of Cups. This is a very passionate card. That's somebody that is really giving their gift to the world. That's somebody that isn't overthinking, is just saying, look, here's my crab curry, here's my gumbo, and I'm bringing it to the table. Not everybody's going to like it, of course, right? But it still has value. So it's kind of a lesson, right? And this is the destiny card. It's the long-term future trajectory kind of card. It's saying that you are developing much more confidence in your gifts, in yourself, that you are feeling more and more inspired, that you are moved by the love that you have inside of you. Okay? You're inspired. You are artistic. You are creating soul art. Not everybody's going to like it. Not everybody needs to. Okay? Just like you don't need to like what everybody else brings to the table either. You could say, ew, crab curry, I don't like that. But I still value your abilities. I value what you brought to the table, even if my personal preferences say, I could leave it. Maybe you don't like the gumbo or the curry is too spicy or something, Knowing that you can give and receive love and affection, not everybody needs to experience it the same way that you do. Okay. Now, the Knight of Cups is also a very good card for kind of receiving inspiration, opening yourself up to spiritual guidance, opening yourself up to what is inside of you, and living a more passionate life, living a more sort of it's getting out of your head and getting into your heart, getting into your passion, getting into your inspiration. And that's the long-term trajectory for you and your energy, okay, is living from the heart a little bit more. Okay, let's look at the mystery card here. This is the guide, the guidance, the advice, or the spiritual message. What do you think it's going to be? No, I think it's going to be the Chariot. I think it's going to be, some more water of some kind. It might be the Death card. Water, energy, slow, steady change. Okay, maybe. Let's see. No, it's a King of Swords. It's fixed air energy. It's air on air, yeah? And I think that in some ways this is trying to correct our Eight of Swords, okay, the overthinking kind of energy. This is an active mind. This is sometimes a restless, I'm on both sides of the fence, I can't pick a side kind of energy, okay? But this is also, to me, it feels like quick thinking. It feels like we're going through this process of thought very fast, and then we're letting it become action. So it's really the card's way of saying, don't stay on the fence about something. Don't stay in this rumination, Eight of Swords, indecision. We need to have clear. This is somebody that has made a decision, even though I don't know if it's the right one. Look at I don't know if you can see that person's face or not, but they don't seem very confident. Not at first. They don't seem very sure of themselves, but they're saying, I've made a decision and I'm going to see it through. I'm going to follow through and see what happens. I don't have to have all the answers. All right. So this is now being, having an active mind, but being able to make a bold decision Knowing that we have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze makes it even more important for us to decide quickly, okay? To resolve our 8 swords sooner rather than later, so that we can then get to the action. Even if you don't know the answers, that 8 of swords might be searching for every particular detail. Wants all the facts first before making a decision. This is somebody that's moving forward with their choice on what is inevitably going to be limited information. You will never have all the facts. Never. You got to be okay with that. You still have to make moves. You still have to do stuff, And that even brings out the 4 of Cups too, saying towards the end of the month and into November, you'll get an opportunity to reflect back on that choice and get the proof that it was the right choice. But while you're making the choice, you're not going to know. It's only going to be later that you're going to be able to reflect and say, wow, okay, yeah, that was the right choice. Bully for me, right? So I think that this is exactly the guidance that we need with that 8 of swords. It's okay to ruminate. It's okay to think of the deed. It's okay to analyze. Do it quickly, make a decision, and translate that into action as soon as possible. This is a month, Taurus. October is a month of action and choosing something, not staying on the fence about it. Okay? Anyway, we're going to head into the extended reading. I hope you'll join me. Leave a comment, please, if you don't mind. Helps out the algorithm. And also leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. Hit the like button, all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. I apologize for my voice. And we're all in this together.